Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope that you are all good. In today's video we are doing a Valentine acrylic set of nails. I've been really excited to start the Valentine content. It's a little bit later than I wanted it to be, but I have got some fun sets to share with you, so I hope you all enjoy watching. As I said, we are doing an acrylic set today, so I'm using the Diamond Nail Supplies acrylic system. I do have a discount code for Diamond Nail Supplies which I will leave in the description box below, along with all of the products that I use as well, so do check that out. Now on the first nail we're going to be doing an ombre, so I'm coming in with, I think this color is called Silk, and it's a more softer white compared to a bright white, and I absolutely love it for any kind of ombre design because it's a little bit easier to use, but of course it depends on the look you're going for. I wanted the acrylic colors in this set to look quite soft and kind of whimsical because I wanted the glitter to really pop. So I've popped down my white acrylic, I've blended it out into the natural nail bed area, and then I've took it down to the tip and I've allowed that white acrylic to set, and then I'm going to come in with my next color. So this color is, I think this one is called, do you know what, I can't remember what this one is called because I remembered that originally I was going to use Diamond Nail Supplies acrylic called Bear, but I changed my mind I think, and I went for this one which has a sparkly pink in it. I believe this one might be called Extra, but like I said, I will double check and I'll leave it in the description box below. But it is a really soft, kind of translucent pink shade, but it has a beautiful iridescent shimmer in it, and it has a very soft tone to it. So again, it's got that really nice whimsical effect that I wanted to go for in this set of nails. It's a core color, but it's really easy to work with. Because it's a core color, you are able to build up all of your strength and structure with this color, but I'm working with it fairly thin because we're going to be encapsulating all the nails anyway. And all I've done with this one is I've popped it down at that cuticle area, got a nice neat cuticle line with it, and then we've blended it out over the silk. Now because it has the sparkle in it, it's a really easy color to work with and to blend because that sparkle just makes any kind of ombre effortless. So if you are looking for an easy ombre color combination, I definitely would recommend these two. As you can see, it just blends out effortlessly, and also it's transparent enough that it's brought that glitter down over the white without allowing the pink acrylic to overpower the white too much. Now moving on to our glitter. Here I have this beautiful glitter mix from Charlie's Nail Art. This one's called True Love Kisses, and it's a very chunky glitter mix. It's not actually got that many fine glitter particles in it. It's more of a mix of chunky Valentine sequins. So we've got some lips, we've got some hearts. There's also quite a few holographic mylar flakes in there as well. You can see there I picked some up, but I ended up removing them just because I want to come in with some smaller ones. Now because it's a chunky glitter mix, we're going to be applying it in a few different ways in this video. So first up on this now, I'm just picking out individual pieces that I want and I'm setting them down into that tacky acrylic. At this point I haven't added any additional acrylic when I'm picking up these pieces, and then when I've got all of those individual pieces placed down in place, I'm just going to pop a wash of clear acrylic over them just to keep them in place ready until we encapsulate them. By popping that bit of clear acrylic down, it's just going to hold them down so that when we do encapsulate them, we're not going to move any of them around. But we are going to be using this glitter in a few different ways because I wanted to show you guys a few different ways that you can work with and encapsulate chunky glitters. So on that first nail there, I simply have tipped out some of the glitter onto a paper towel, and then I've just individually gone in and picked out the shapes that I want to use. On the next nail we're going to apply it slightly different, but starting off I'm coming in with that pretty pink and glitter acrylic mix. I've placed this down at the cuticle area, and then we're just fading it down the nail, but I'm not taking it all the way down the nail because I want to leave the tip of this nail clear because I want to go for a glass tip effect. Then this time with the glitter, I've picked up a small wet bead of clear acrylic, and then I've dipped into that raw glitter mix. And as you can see, when I'm placing it down on the nail, I'm starting off by just mixing those chunky glitter pieces into that clear acrylic. Then when a lot of the glitter is mixed in with the clear acrylic, I'm going to keep my brush quite wet and start moving those glitter pieces around to how I want them to be placed on the nail. So for this design, I wanted them to fade back over the pink acrylic, but I also wanted them to fade down into the clear acrylic tip. So I'm being really careful. I don't want to fully cover that clear acrylic tip. So I'm just gently nudging those glitter pieces around and then picking up any additional pieces that I want to add into the design. So I wanted to make sure I got a few more pink hearts, so I added those in. And then again, just a wash of clear acrylic to hold those in place. On this now, we're not actually going to be adding any glitter. We're going to be doing a really soft, gentle marble. So I'm coming in first of all with that silk color, and I'm just placing this small bead down at that cuticle area, just simply to get a nice neat cuticle line so that I don't have to worry about getting a neat cuticle with my marble acrylic design. So once we've got the neat cuticle done, I'm going to pick up wet beads of my 3 acrylic colors. So we've got the white, the pink, and then my clear. And the reason I've added in the clear acrylic is because I want there to be that really soft, wishy-washy, whimsical effect to the nail design. And I feel like adding in clear really does that, because it just leaves you with these clear spaces, which tied in beautifully with the pointer finger because we've got the clear tip there. And as you can see, all I'm doing is placing down those wet beads of acrylic, bringing my brush to a point and then swirling through them. And then I'm just going to clean up the sides of the nail just to make sure that none of that acrylic is running off the edges. This is just then going to minimize the finish filing at the end of the design. And I was going to add some glitter to this nail, but I decided not to because I loved how soft and pretty it looked. So I didn't want to cover up any of that marble. We do add some crystals at the end of the design though. On to the little finger, and we're doing similar to the pointer finger, except for I want to have my glitter at the tip of the nail and I want my acrylic to fade over the top of it. So I'm picking up a small wet bead of acrylic, dipping into my glitter, mixing that down on the actual nail tip, and then I'm keeping my brush nice and wet, nudging those glitter pieces around. And then I just wanted to come in with a few more glitter pieces to fade out. So I'm coming in with a small teeny tiny bead of clear acrylic, and then I'm just picking up individual chunky pieces out of that glitter mix and placing them down on the nail, just because again I wanted some more red and pink, and so I just want to make sure I'm able to pick up the pieces that I want to place down. And this is easier to pick up individual pieces rather than go in and pick up another bead of acrylic and then your glitter mix. I'm coming over the top of them with a wash of clear acrylic just because I want to make sure they all stick down in place and don't move around when I come in with my pink acrylic. So I did allow that nail to set. I want that glitter to set in place before we come in with our pink acrylic. So whilst I'm waiting for that, I'm going to move on and encapsulate the pointer finger. So I'm coming in with a medium-sized bead of clear acrylic, placing that down roughly halfway down the nail, and I'm just going to focus this bead on encapsulating the tip of the nail. So I've walked it down to the very tip of the nail, and then I'm using my brush just to gently feather over that acrylic, make sure the application is nice and smooth and even, and I'm also making sure that I'm keeping my sidewalls nice and clean and that none of that clear acrylic has gone underneath the tip. And then we're going to move on and finish off encapsulating the rest of the nail. So I'm just working my way up towards that cuticle area. Now when you are encapsulating chunky glitters, you want to work with your clear acrylic ever so slightly wetter, in my opinion. This way, because it's wetter, it glides over those chunky glitter pieces with ease. You're making sure that it's getting all around them, and it's just going to encapsulate everything really nicely. Also, when I'm wanting to work any kind of, or do any kind of clear tip design, I work with my clear acrylic slightly wetter so that it flows into place without me having to play around with it too much. Sometimes the more you play around with your clear acrylic, you will lose some of the clarity, or you might add in some bubbles. So when you are aiming for a crystal clear encapsulation, try to play around with your clear acrylic as little as possible. So as you can see here, I'm using really gentle strokes, but I'm kind of allowing that acrylic to flow into place so I haven't got to play around with it too much. We are going to encapsulate the rest of the nails, but I think I do those off camera. So we're going to jump to finishing off the design on this nail. So I've come in with my cuticle bead, placed it down at my cuticle area, got a nice neat cuticle line, and then I'm feathering and fading that down over that chunky glitter mix. And because it's a semi-translucent acrylic, it's gonna cover the glitters ever so slightly, so it gives off that 3D hidden effect, because you can still see those chunky glitter pieces through the pink acrylic, but they do just look semi covered up, and I really love that effect. So this acrylic was brilliant for that. I did want a little bit more coverage, so I come in with another small bead. I'm building up the cuticle and apex area with this bead as well, because it is a core acrylic, but then it's giving me just a little bit more opacity over those darker red acrylics glitter sequins. I really am struggling to get my words out today. Now we've faded that down, but we do need to encapsulate the tip of the nail to fully build up the strength and structure and encapsulate in all of those hearts and sequins. So I'm coming in with my clear acrylic, placing that down right where the pink acrylic ended, and then I'm just patting and pressing it into place, same as what we did on the pointer finger. I don't want to play around with it too much because I want that crystal clear finish so that we really see those glitters popping through. I did need a little bit more acrylic on the very tip of the nail, just because you want to make sure that you've got the right thickness throughout the set or throughout the nail. Off camera I did encapsulate the remaining 2 nails exactly the same as we did the pointer finger, so I didn't leave in showing you guys that. And then off camera I did do all of the filing as well, so I made sure to shape and contour the nails, and then I did come over them with my buffer just to remove any deep scratches. I tend not to leave filing in when I'm working on a practice hand, because a lot of the time I end up taking the tips out to file them because it's a lot easier. And then once I had cleaned away all of the dust, of course, it's time to come in and top coat. So I'm going to pop down a thin layer of top coat just to bring back all of that shine and finish off the design. This is where these kind of designs really come to life as well, because you're going to get back all the sparkles from the glitter. On the clear tip nail, so on the pointer finger, you will see that I'll top coat underneath the nail as well. This is just because I want that crystal clear glass finish. And right before popping these into cure, we are going to add some crystals just at the cuticle area on that marble nail. Now normally I wouldn't set my crystals down in a regular top coat. Normally I would always use a rubber top coat. So if you are recreating this design on yourself and you want to add your crystals into your top coat, I would highly recommend doing it with a rubber top coat, just because they are, in my opinion, better for applying your crystals. But I just had a regular top coat on my desk, so I used that for this set just because it was what was on my desk, and I'm only working on a practice hand, so the crystals don't necessarily need to last 2 weeks or however long you would be wearing your acrylic design. So as you can see here, I'm just picking up these beautiful, these are called Just Ruby crystals from Kiki London. I absolutely love them, and I thought they popped really beautifully over this soft white marble. So once I had got them in place, we popped these in to cure for 60 seconds, and that is the finished result. This was a really easy but really pretty acrylic design to do, so I hope you all enjoyed watching. If you did enjoy today's video, please do give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment below. And of course, if you've got any Valentine requests, please do try get them in, because I would love to recreate any sets that you would like to see. And once again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Let me know how you're doing in the comments below. It's always great to catch up with you guys. And of course, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would absolutely love it if you hit that subscription button. Thank you all so much for watching. Lots of love. Take care. Bye bye.